Welcome to the ASIS software tutorial, and thank you for your interest in the Alpine Social Innovation Strategy project. Today you will learn how to use our software tool that was created in order to support institutions and individuals in the process of making decisions for funding promising social innovation projects or initiatives. At first, we will walk you through the data input, which includes explanations on what data is needed to use the software and how to enter the data into the tool. In a second step, the results of this input will be discussed to show what they mean and how you can use this information. The walkthrough is done by Dr. Rachel Schomaker, who will guide you through the 2 steps by showing the software on her own computer. If you have further questions after the tutorial, need assistance in using the software, or want to learn more about the ASIS project, contact or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. For further educational resources, visit our YouTube channel or the ASIS platform. Now, let's get right into it.
Let's have a view on the data input form. As you can see, you can pick the language you want to use. For further instruction on how to use the software, to interpret the results, or how to install the software in your intranet, please refer to the handbook which is available on the ASIS website. Any information that is needed to fill in the form should come from the business plan or the proposal of the program you want to evaluate. Thus, make sure to have this information at hand filling in the form. As you can see, there are different categories. For each category, in this gray box, additional information is given of what information is needed. The title of the program, if any, the country, the sector, the level of the program, target group size and the internal individuals involved, the academic education of the founder, the experience, the stakeholders involved in different categories, the funding of the program, and the milestones that should be achieved by the program. All this information has to be added, and then the only thing you have to do is to click Submit. Just for an example, we put in random information here to help you to interpret the results later. After filling in the information in the datasheet and clicking Submit, you will get this outcome. This program evaluation compares your project with previous successful social innovation projects in the Alpine space. For every indicator, you get an outcome table like that. The orange bars indicate for the different categories for the range of previous successful SI projects. The green dot indicates for the project you evaluate. Thus, depending on where the green dot is located, you see if your project is comparable to other previous and successful SI projects. Beyond each outcome table, you see information if the project is in the expected range or not. The orange bars indicate for the overall range. You have the median and the lower and upper quartiles here, so you can see where your project is located compared to other projects. We see that for target group size here, or for total funding, or also for the internal individuals involved. The level of program versus multipliers is an interesting case, as we see here. For a U program, this was given in our example, the number of multipliers is very high. So what does that mean? This means in other EU projects, the number of multipliers is lower than in your case. Thus, this may need a specific investigation. This doesn't necessarily mean that the program you evaluate is better or worse, but just that this indicator is somewhat unexpected, and this may need a closer look done by the program evaluator or a specific person who is trained in doing that. So Here, for the number of milestones, again, we see the project evaluated or example project is in the expected range. And as you can see, the color of the information gives you some hint if it's as expected or not. The background of the founders, we just put in our example, no education, which is academic one, and no experience. And here we see this is not like the average program. For the average program, there is an experience of founders as well as an academic background. The stakeholder structure of the program you evaluate, and as you can see, the dots again are absolutely in line with what is expected for a new project like this, so the stakeholder structure is in the expected range. Finally, the software offers a summary of the indicators in a color-coded way. In the end, you have a summary how many of the indicators have been in the expected range, how many of the indicators has been in the lower or higher part of the expected range, and how many indicators have been out of the expected range. The interpretation of these results implies that the more indicators are in the expected range, the more comparable the project to be evaluated is to other successful SI projects in the Alpine space. Nonetheless, being out of the expected range in one or more indicators doesn't necessarily mean that the project won't be successful. What should be done in these cases? The respective indicators should be evaluated further in a more qualitative way. Additional information can be taken to see in how far the difference between the project at stake, the evaluated project, and other successful projects can be explained. Thus, it is a personal interpretation and no determination of the success of the project that is done in the summary. The ASIS evaluation program can be used best in triangulation with risk assessment tools and qualitative data about the specific project you want to evaluate. Nonetheless, the ASIS team hopes it helps public policy makers and program evaluators to select potential successful SI projects in the Alpine space. Please do not hesitate to contact us via the website if there are any further questions related to the program. Additionally, also the handbook gives you further information about the interpretation of results and the installation of the software. Thank you so much.